The Philbrook Museum of Art celebrates its 15th installment into their permanent collection of the Wyeth's Fathers and Sons. While characterized by the family's poetic look into American realism, it is celebrated for its quiet simplicity of rural life. The exhibition began on December 20th and ends February 28th, 2016. The watercolors have been inherited to the Philbrook from the generous Marie Louise Cohen. The Wyeth's poetic look into American realism is a refreshing aspect in the 20th century's social and artistic upheaval. ORU professor Nathan Ott talks about the artistic family.
American realism would be the counter response to the abstract expressionist movement that happened in the middle part of the 20th century. So when you have the likes of Clifford Still and Helen Frankenthaler, Mark Rothko, all these kind of big, large, color-filled painters and gestural abstractionists like Pollock, you still have a group of artists like Edward Hopper and Andrew Wyeth who are working in a representational manner, making images that are easy to understand and access visually. N.C. Wyeth was well known as an illustrator, and so his notoriety for that type of work. Andrew, his work stands out for its countercultural placement, because all his contemporaries are doing something that's very different than what he is, and so he's going against the grain. And first, the longevity of his work. So he's doing that for such a long time, being consistent and constantly working on his own stuff and his own style. He works in tempera and watercolor and gouache, and lots of materials that wouldn't have been typical or accepted during the 50s and 60s. Jamie is very different than his father. Jamie's work is more explorative and tries to mix medias and do different things than his father did.
According to Catherine Whitney, head curator at the Philbrook Museum of Art, the Wyeth family legacy spans 3 generations and embraces a deeply poetic form of American realism. It began with the colorful illustrations of grandfather N.C. Wyeth, and passes through the psychologically loaded spaces of his son Andrew, and continues in the images of farm and island life of grandson Jamie.
Their works are much sought after. It is a great addition to the Philbrook collection. Most of Philbrook's contemporary work is realism and photorealism, so this type of work fits in line with that. It's great to have them in town. I've already taken a few students to go and see the work, and it's a wonderful opportunity to show them some beautiful paintings with very different techniques, all falling within the style of realism.
The Philbrook's exhibition of Fathers and Sons ends February 28th, but the 15th installment will remain in Philbrook's permanent collection. This is Emerald Dean reporting for Tulsa Scene.